Hello and welcome back to another coffee tasting video. Before we get started, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that you're alerted anytime I drop a new video, which is every Tuesday. Now on to our star attraction. We got a brand new one, the Variations series. This is the Nordic Vanilla Princess Cake. So let's take a look at what we're to expect here. So this one is a flavored coffee. They don't have an aromatic profile, but they do give aromatic notes. So this is vanilla sweetness with a hint of raspberry jam. That sounds a little bit interesting. And then we have a 7.7 ounce pour with an intensity of 5. So it's another one that's going to hit kind of right in the middle. So let's see what they have to say about this. Indulge with the creamy vanilla taste, marzipan sweetness. I have no idea what marzipan is, but that's the sweetness they say. And a subtle hint of raspberry paired with the smooth texture, biscuity notes, and medium intensity of a half caffeinito blend. So evidently this one's a half calf. So let's take a look at the pods, see what we have here. Ooh, these are nice looking, just like the other ones. Yeah, this one just says, this is another one. Last week we addressed the fact that these aren't individually matched or marked. They just say Variations Nordic. So if you were to put these in the bottom of a drawer or just have them mixed together, again, you're not going to know which one is. There's your pod. Variations Nordic Vanilla Princess Cake. Let's go brew a cup. So many of you saw it last week, but this is my wife's, AKA the cameraman's, handiwork. She always does such a great blackboard. If you guys have any suggestions for future content, drop that into our comment section. Vanilla Princess Cake. Here we go. Yeah, just judging from the darkness, I'm gonna say it's probably close to a 5 for darkness. And oh man, that smells really good. Let's give it a taste test. All right, I'm just gonna fold in a little bit of the crema. All right, so creamy vanilla taste, marzipan sweetness, and a subtle hint of raspberry with some biscuity notes. Let's give this a taste test. Oh man, it smells amazing. Oh man, that's really good. Ooh, yeah. You definitely pick up on the raspberry. The raspberry is very distinct in it. And then I don't know what the other flavor is that's going on in there. Maybe that's the marzipan. Almost has a little bit of a, I don't know if I think it's a biscuity note, but it almost has like an almond flavor to it. So it kind of has a little bit of a, like almost like a nut flavor to it with, let me give it one more. Yeah, the raspberry is very distinct in this one, which is a little bit unusual for an espresso. Usually, whatever their star flavor is in it, it's very, very subtle, like vanilla. It'll be a very, very subtle vanilla. This one for the raspberry is very in your face. You get a distinct flavor of raspberry. The biscuity notes, I'm not quite picking up on. But there is something else in there, and it almost tastes like a almond, kind of like the, and this is weird to say, but like that brown piece of the shell that's on the almond, when you have it on your tongue, kind of that weird woody almond taste to it. So that's almost what this tastes like. It's pretty good. They talk about here adding a dash of milk to soften the roasted coffee notes and bring out the blend sweetness. So this is pretty good by itself. I think we should try it with some milk. So let's go round 2. Let's go brew another cup. All right, so we're gonna do Variations Nordic Vanilla Princess Cake, round 2. I'm gonna get this pod going. It mentions a dash of milk, so I'm gonna go really light on the milk this time. We're gonna go just barely above that spring in there, and then let's just give it a normal whip or frothing and see how this all plays together. Man, if you could smell this when it's done brewing, it smells really good. Let's grab our milk. We're just gonna give it a dash, like they say. I'm gonna try and get some of the milk froth here, just to put on top. Oh, there I go and made a mess again. I'm getting good at that. Let's give it a taste test. All right, let's just get it blended real good. So we put just a little bit of milk. I have made a mess. I'm getting good at this. Last week I made a mess, and this week I made a mess. I'm getting good at that. We put just the milk, the coffee. There is no sweetener in this. Let's give this a taste test. I don't know if I think it brought out the sweetness. They said here, adding a dash of milk softens those roasted coffee notes and brings out the blend's sweetness. Let's do it again here. I think what I pick up the most out of it is that it's muted the raspberry quite a bit. I do get the sweetness, but I'm not sure I really like the fact it's muted the raspberry so much. So I think the milk has kind of counteracted some of the raspberry, which I really enjoyed in the first cup. We do have the sweetness of the second cup, although whatever the nut flavor is in it is missing. So now it just tastes more like a sweeter cup of coffee, almost kind of like, wait. Almost like, and this doesn't even make sense, but it almost has like a little bit of more bitter to it and a little bit of honey. I don't even know how to quite describe. I think I like it plain. Most of these I like better with a little bit of milk in them. I'm kind of tempted because it's a raspberry and the raspberry notes are still there. They're just very subtle. The nut note or almond note or whatever is in there has kind of gotten muted. I think I want to try this again with some chocolate because I think that's going to lend itself really well towards the raspberry. So I think we're going to go round 3 on this one, give this a third shot, and I'm going to empty this cup out. And actually, you know what? I'm going to use one of my tall cups. We'll use one of our tall cups. We're going to reblend this, add some chocolate into it. Let's go round 3. Princess cake, let's go. I'm going to get some milk going again. I'm going to put even less this time. I'm going to make another mess for you. I decided I wanted to go a split with this, so I'm actually going to fold in some crema now to try to make this as even as I can. There we go. I'm going to give half milk. I'm going to do half milk and chocolate. The other half, just coffee and chocolate. see which one works better. Just a splash of milk. Then I'm thinking for a half a cup. We normally put 2 pumps of chocolate. Let's go with one pump of chocolate, 1 pump in that one. Let's take both of these. Let's give them a taste test. This is our milk and single pump of chocolate. Oh, that's pretty good. That one's pretty good. Let's give this guy a taste test here. Oh, that's really good. Okay, so long story short, this is one that I think, honestly, avoiding the milk in it would be your best route. This is really good on its own. I honestly don't think you need to do anything to it. If you want to kick it up a notch just a little bit, a pump of chocolate serves pretty well. They aren't really commanding a premium too much for this. Each pod is $1.25, so they're upcharging slightly for it. I would say this one's a purchase. This one's great. It's got a great sweet flavor. I could see this being put with some kind of a dessert. It would be wonderful with a nice, high quality, like a vanilla bean ice cream. I think this would go wonderfully with it. Single pump, or if you had a full cup of coffee, a double pump of chocolate in it. I think you got a winner. So by itself, a winner. With a pump of chocolate, a winner. Eating it with some dessert, like an ice cream or something, you have a winner. So all the way around, I think this one's a purchase for you. Woo! Well, 4 cups of coffee later, that brings us to a close of this video. I thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification, and if you feel so inclined, please join us over at Patreon. That's patreon.com/IPON70, and make a donation there if you wish to support the channel. And if you have any requests for anything you would like to see me review in the future, providing it's with the Nespresso line, please drop a comment down below and I'll do my level best to get it out to you in a timely fashion. I thank you once again, and we'll see you next week with another coffee video.